Series videos from Vectra. In this series, engineers will go through some of the common requests we see from customers and how to resolve them. Please be sure to subscribe and check back for new videos in the series.
Hello everyone, this is Sanjay Raghuvanshi from Vectra Support. In today's video, we'll be discussing Brain to external server backups, as we call them external target. In this video, we will be covering SCP and SFTP configuration for backup. So we can utilize SCP and SFTP servers for external targets while doing backups. So I have got some demo machines here, which I'll be utilizing in this video. So this is the left panel, which is the brain on which we'll be performing the backup. And this is the SCP server I've got. And this is the SFTP server we'll be using this demo. So let's begin. First of all, we have to make sure that we have the connectivity between the brain and the external target on port number 22, which is the SSH port. Once we have confirmed that, we can begin with the configuration. So first we'll add the SCP target, and then we'll add the SFTP target, and then we'll validate if it works out well. So let's begin with the first command. So this is the first command which we have to run on the brain, which is the public key. So we need to see what is the public key. We need to add this into the external target. So this is the public key. This is common for both SCP and SFTP. We can use the same key, and we just need to add this to the authorized keys for these users so that communication between the brain and the external target is allowed without any password authentication. We can use password authentication as well for the SFTP configuration. We'll check that in the video later. So this is the key which we have got. Now we have to copy this key and add into the authorized keys. We'll just take a look. I have kept it in SSH directory here. So I've got the authorized keys added already. If you see, this is the sample. You can just add it here. So this is the same key which I picked from this panel, and I've added it here for the SCP user. Similarly, you can check it for SFTP as well. So it would be home SFTP. I've got this added for SFTP as well. Now let's go to the next part. The next part is to run this command to add the target. This is for the SCP user. Okay, I'll just pick this and run it on the brain. So this is how the command looks like. Backup, since we are adding an external target, so this is the option to denote that. And then it will configure SCP. And the user for this is SCP user, which we can see here. And this is the IP address of the SCP server. And this is the path where we will be copying the backup files. Let's just take a look once if we have this path on this server. Yes, we have, and there is no file as of now on that path. I'll enter this. This is the output of the command. It says that external target link list is now this, which means that we have got one SCP target configured. Now, to validate whether we'll be able to copy any backup file on the server, we'll just run a test backup external targets test. It will validate the connectivity with the SCP server, and it says that it was a success. Test copy to file server is successful. We can check for this particular file name on the target to validate. We have the file here, so it was successful. Now we will add the SFTP server in our external target list. So let's go back. This is done. To add the SFTP server as the external target, we'll use this command. This is same as SCP. It's just that we have changed the configuration type here to SFTP, and we have defined the user here, which is the SFTP user. I'm using the same server. It's just a different user and path, so the IP will remain same. This is the path for SFTP where I'm going to copy the files. As you see, there is this parameter which I'm using here, which is max backups 5. It is same as the parameter rotate, which was used in versions before 8.5. So what it does is it will retain maximum 5 copies of the backup file and it will rotate the backups after that. Let's enter this. This will add the external target as SFTP. It says that it is added, and if you see, this is the name of the SFTP connection which we have for the external target. Now we'll run the test again for the connectivity. Now it is important to note that when we run the test for external targets, it runs the test for all the connections which we have. So it has run the test again for SCP and it has run the test for SFTP as well. Let's validate if we have the file in the backup directory of the SFTP. So yes, we have the same file here available. So we are good. Now we'll run the backup. Let me make this backup run. And backup has initiated now. It will make a copy of the backup files to both the external targets which we have configured. So we should have a backup file for SFTP here and one for SCP here. I'll pause the recording while this is being done and resume once it is executed. All right, so backup run has completed and the output says that SCP target this, upload succeeded, SFTP target this, upload succeeded. So let's validate if we have the file here. Yes, we have got this file. Let's check for SFTP as well. Yes, we have got the file here as well. Both the places we have got the same file. So backup is done here. Once the backup is done, we have to ensure that we are able to upload the backup files to the external targets as part of our weekly schedule. So for that, we have to enable it using this command. That is done. If we run the restore list here, we'll get the list of the backups available. We have got one backup file for SCP and one from SFTP target. Now, how do we restore this from these external targets? Let's check that. For that, we can use the command restore run from external target. We can give the name from whichever target we want to run the restore. So I'll use SCP1 for this example, and then file name. So I'll pick the file name, and then I'll run this. This will begin the restore. It takes a bit of time, so I'll pause the recording while this is going on. All right, so restore is completed now using the external target. I just wanted to show you one more option with the SFTP. While configuring SFTP, we have an option. If you don't want to use the public key, we have an option to use the password as well. Use password, and this will prompt you for the password. So you need to enter the password here, and that will configure the password authentication for this. Now, for example, we have got 3 different external targets. So there is a possibility that you'd want to get rid of one of the few probably. So we can use the command backup external targets, remove name SFTP3. It would remove the external target from the list. This is the current list we have. So this is all I wanted to cover in this video. I hope you liked it. If there is anything else you want me to cover in the upcoming videos, please feel free to leave a comment. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.